Hello everyone, welcome to another video from Altacumulus channel. In my last video, we saw how to serve objects stored in our S3 bucket through our custom domain. Now if you take this domain is owned by me and I have hosted the resume of Batman through my custom domain. But this implementation still had a drawback, and what was that? We can see this warning message not secure, and that is because still our website is serving traffic through an HTTP endpoint. So how to make our website to a HTTPS website? Let's get into it. I'm in the S3 console, and according to AWS documentation, if you are planning to serve HTTPS traffic for a bucket that is configured as a website, you should use CloudFront, and that is the only way at this moment. So we need to go to CloudFront and we need to create a distribution. So let's quickly do that. So I'm going to click create distribution, and in here we need to select our domain. Let's click here. You can see my bucket is listed here, so I'm going to select that. But you should be very careful in this step because this is wrong. What we have here is the REST API endpoint of our bucket, but what we really want is our website endpoint of our S3 bucket. So what was that? So let's quickly go to our S3 console. Okay, I'm going to select my bucket, and under properties I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the page and I can get the website endpoint. So I'm going to copy this, I'll close this tab, and I am going to paste that URL here. So why I did it like that? That is because there are reasonable difference between a REST API endpoint and a website endpoint. I am planning to do a detailed video on that as well. So for the moment, please follow with me. And then I'm going to leave most of the settings as they are, and I'm scrolling down to this viewer protocol policy. We need our content to be served through HTTPS, right? So even though if someone requests our website with HTTP, we need to redirect that to HTTPS. So I'm selecting the second option here, and we just need get and add. And you might know that if we are dealing with HTTPS, that is related with a SSL certificate, and that's how browsers uh, believe that our site is secure. So how to do that? We can actually request for a certificate from ACM, AWS Certificate Manager, and please note that this is free, so don't worry. So I'm going to click this request certificate. Okay, it asking me for the fully qualified domain name, so I'm going to give my domain name, which is batman.resume.com. So do we have to add another domain? Yes. uh, what if the users type www.batman.resume.nilukshansiva.com? We want that also to be uh, work, right? So I'm going to add that as well. www.batman.resume.nilukshansiva.com. Okay, and I'm going to leave other things as they are, and I'm going to request for a certificate. Okay, I'm going to click this view certificate, and it says status pending validation. You need to make some changes in your Route 53 records in order to make it work. So if you are using Route 53 as your domain registrar, it's easy. You can simply click this, or if you are using any other third-party domain registrar, you need to copy this thing and paste it in your domain. So for the moment, I'm going to click this create records. I'm going to click create records. Okay, let's go to Route 53 console and let's see whether these records are added. Let's click hosted zone, and then we'll go to our domain, and here we can see our records, and you can see these two records are related with our SSL certificates. You can see batman.resume.nilukshansiva.com and www.batman.resume.nilukshansiva.com has been added. So now we are good to go. We'll go back to our CloudFront console, and here we will refresh this drop down, and then we'll select our certificate. Yeah, it's there, batman.resume.nilukshansiva.com. I'm going to select that, and you can see there is a thing called alternate domain name or a CNAME. So what we are trying to do in our hands-on is we have our custom domain, and we need our custom domain to point to this CloudFront distribution. So in order to achieve that, we need to add our custom domain under this alternate domain name. So what is our domain name? I'm going to say batman.resume.nilukshansiva.com, and then the subdomain with www. So I'm going to repeat that quickly, resume.nilukshansiva.com. Okay, and I am leaving other settings as they are, and I'm going to click create distribution. This will take some time depending on your location and region, so let's wait for a few minutes. Okay, it took a while, and you can see that it's been successfully distributed across the globe. We'll click distribution, and you can see the status is enabled, and you can see the last modified date. So I'm going to click this distribution, and here we have the domain name. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to open up incognito tab, and I'm going to paste it. Okay, our resume is now in an HTTPS website. You can see this beautiful padlock here. If you click this, it says our connection is secure. Great, but we are not done yet. The domain name is of CloudFront, and we need to make our custom domain to point this CloudFront distribution. So let's go to our Route 53 console. I'm going to click hosted zone, and then I'm going to select my domain, and here we can see that we already have a LIS record which points to our static website. So we need to remove that record. I'm going to click that and I'm going to click delete record. Okay, then I need to create a record which will make our domain to point to the CloudFront distribution we just created. So what is the domain you're talking about? batman.resume.com. Again, it's going to be a LIS record, but this time it's going to be a LIS to CloudFront distribution rather than LIS to a S3 website endpoint. So I'm going to select this, and yes, I can select the distribution from this drop down. I'm going to leave other things as they are, and I'm going to click create records. Now bear in mind that while you were creating your distribution, if you have not set this alternate domains in your CloudFront distribution, you won't get this in this drop down. So please make sure to put these things, your corresponding domains, in this alternate domain section of the CloudFront distribution. So with that, I'm going to click that and I'm going to click create records, and this will take some time. Okay, we'll click view status. It's in the pending status. Okay, let's wait for a moment. Let's refresh this. Okay, now it's in sync. Okay, we need to add another record as well. Why is that? We configured our CloudFront distribution to point to this subdomain www as well. So let's quickly do that as well. I'm going to go into my domain and I'm going to create another record. Let's quickly create that www.batman.resume.nilukshansiva.com. I'm going to turn on LIS and then CloudFront distribution, and then I'm going to select the distribution, click create records. Okay, we'll check the status. Okay, it's in the pending status. We'll go to the refresh option. It will take some time. Okay, now it's in sync. Okay, let's go to our domain, and we need to go to this address, right? So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to open an incognito tab and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, now our resume is hosted in the way we wanted. You can see this is our custom domain, and you can see this padlock here which says that our connection to this site is secure. Congratulations, now you should be able to host your resume in internet. This brings us to the end of this hands-on. Now if you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to mention them in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video. Stay tuned.